Good evening, Zelda Speedruns. We're back again with some more Majora's Mask Randomizer. This time we got another Blitz Season 2 bracket match between Tony and NEUR0N0M1C0N. Continuing off the tournament with a nice little start. We missed out on the race earlier today, make sure to check out the VOD. But commentating today's match will be Pojo Lone Wolf and Fifth Whammy, and Axel Ryman and myself will be tracking. Take it away, folks.
Lizard.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Termina. Welcome to the second leg of our Blitz Season 2 opening doubleheader. We've got a show for you here for you today. Tony on the left, Nero on the right. I'm Fifth Whammy here with Pojo. Care to tell us how these settings work for our audience?
Sure, of course. So for Blitz Season 2, your remains are on the Great Fairies. So everyone starts with 10 of each of the stray fairies, and the other 5, so 20 in total, are scattered all throughout of Termina, and it's their job to track them down. And once you get any 2 sets of 5 remains, set of 5 fairies for the remains, you get to go to the moon. There's no need to look for Oath, because you start with that. And that's pretty much it. So we may see a bunch of dungeons, but we could also see none. So we will have to find out.
Yeah, so much could happen in these settings, and we're going to get started.
I think I saw a Woodfall Stray Fairy, yep. One of those.
Tony's going to go ahead, pick that right up. No real harm.
Yeah.
Everybody hitting their owls. Neuro there, headed north. Tony.
South?
Backwalking, we're going to get a look at... Oh, is that
The cursed tome!
Was that a green on Cafe Day 2?
Yeah, I think so. Cursed tome kind of blocks it a little bit. But...
Narrow North Grotto, East Quacktown Waff.
Great Bay. Oh, stockpile in Foolish. That's nice.
Tony, South Opener awards him Letter to Mama, Terminally Filled Grass Chest. Smithy 2 also dead. Thank you, chat.
Yeah. And there's a Great Bay Fairy on one of the Sun Times, since I missed which one that was, though.
Alright. Nero trying to play a song for Songwall to get 60 rupees. It's 7 o'clock though, might be too late for that. Okay, Smithy Day 2 had a Great Bay Stray Fairy? Yeah, that's gonna be tough. It's gonna be locked behind Bottle of Gold Dust and a way to melt the ice. Yep, Tony giving us confirmation on the left-hand side. Yeah, a quirk of the Sometimes Hints here is that they are going to say not required the vast majority of the time for stray fairies. Because in MMR's perspective, you only need 2 of the sets of 5. So you technically don't need a set. You could always go get other sets.
Yeah. But every once in a while, you'll see a required fairy on Sometimes Hints. And usually that means that there is something pretty big on that particular boss, because you can get into that dungeon, just hop in the warp, and that'll likely be your only logical way to reach that particular boss.
Yeah, Tony went south. P-Hat awards a mountain title deed. Nero found a blue fairy on the North Clocktown tree. Gets the jump slash for Tingle.
Oh, Deku.
Ooh.
This spicy out of logic Deku.
Tony gets another copy of the Road to Icona Waff. Tony looking to play a traditional South Opener here. Nero headed north. The start, backtracking to NCT. Has 45 rupees in hand, maybe to go shopping. Our shops in Blitz Season 2 have 2 extra items each, shuffled and up for grabs.
Oh, free FD. Or almost free.
The bomb shop is looking to diversify into masks. Yeah, I mean, A&M, cafes, FD. Good pick for Neuro. A&M immediately leads the 2 early checks. Cafe and FD have their uses, but...
There's another Woodfall Stray Fairy in the shop.
Alright, Tony getting that first blue in the tree. A nice freebie to start our runners off. Good rupee play. Yeah, good rupee play from Tony, smacking those bushes to get rupees while Tingle's coming down.
Alright, gotta do something with that time.
Katie Bean reports we have a Song of Storms start.
Yay! Woohoo!
Perhaps maybe the least ideal start? I don't know. What it means is that song checks are going to get a little extra love and care with all 4 dungeon songs among them.
Yeah. It's really, anytime you want to start with storms, if there's something big on Stumpy, I'd say.
Tony does see the Twin Islands Waft. That is new to us. It was on the Northwestern Minifield Gossip. Pulling out a stick to take on the Dongos. Clearly done.
Yeah, there's only 2 things in Twin Islands that can be waft in these settings. So, pretty slim pickings.
Oh! Bottle of gold dust on the Dongos. That's the first bottle.
That also lets us, wasn't there a fairy on Gold Dust?
Yeah, that'll get you a Great Bay Fairy. If you can manage to turn it in this cycle, which you're going to need a bow, you're going to need fire.
Oh, and fires. Or there's some way to melt the ice.
Yeah.
Being on the Dongos, I mean, that's not the worst place in the world for that to be. So
it is a pretty easy regrab.
Especially if you find a wallet, because then you can knock out Smithy 1 at the same time by getting $100, and then you got like gold dust for Smithy 2.
That's a clever piece of routing there, Pojo. News sometimes. Hookshot chest has the GFS. I don't know. Maybe if you end up going to PFI and you need to pick up eggs.
Going there, yeah, doing eggs or whatnot. Yeah, if you're in the neighborhood, great. If you're not, probably not getting that this week.
Yeah, though with FD on sale for 50.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Pendant of Memories. Usually we really love to see small gilded chests, but Pendant still keeps its bait value.
What is that?
They're first to head south. I couldn't get a good look. Both runners have Deku in hand. That is going to be a nice nudge towards South Place.
No town archery? Wait, what is that?
I still couldn't get... And there's our 4th waft at the Observatory, Iconic Canyon.
Pamela see anybody? Pamela? Anybody for Pamela?
Yeah, could be Pamela.
Hey, we already have storms. I mean...
Yeah, one of the benefits of storms. Easier Pamela. Clever thinking by Tony into Observatory.
Ooh, a bow.
That's a bow for Neuro.
Wow.
And that was RTSS Grotto.
Yeah.
Well, if
I'd be heading over to Swamp Arch if I were in his shoes.
Yeah. Neuro, they'll have Tingle. No money, but they can take the peak.
Another bow.
Bow on Tingle. So far, that's bow locked as far as we know. I mean, I guess you could find magic with Deku somewhere,
Yeah.
but really, Sphere Zero bow and RTSS
Well, I
Grotto.
mean, but that game is bow locked or Zora locked or hook locked anyway. So
Yeah, I guess that is true. It's a logical Deku now. We know that much.
yeah, it's launched with Decker now. So yeah.
Hitting the owl, they're not going to proceed. They're going to soar back.
Interesting choice with access to the Woodfall Ferry. You think getting early knowledge of where your remaining 3 Woodfall Ferries are would be pretty big at this point.
That's
plus
true.
Plus the song from Deku Palace and all the other checks along the way.
Yeah, with the bow, NEUR0 would have had to have gone the long way around, but you're getting fairy knowledge, you're getting a song, you're getting an owl. That would have been a good play. Postman's game, quiet. Neither of our runners happened to pull out the GFM for the early game, so we're not going to get any Shimmer intel, unfortunately.
Tony decided he didn't want to wait for the postman to stop talking to Anju and just skips to night 1.
And that's true. Stockpiling is foolish.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'd already
Not
forgotten.
often you get it. Yeah, it's not often you get an early in foolish roll like that.
And anytime you can get, especially in these settings with all these, sometimes hints with, not required trade-in items that could actually have a fairy. Especially, so like for a place like Stockpot Inn that has both the room key and the All Nights mask, knowing you don't need to find those items for a potential fairy is always reassuring.
Yeah, that's true. That A&M and the bomb shop are not really needed at all. NEUR0 did pick up a Stone Tower Stray Fairy on the Swordsman School, though. First yellow of the seed.
Getting that here shortly. Let's see where he goes. We've already found the letter to Mama, so
That's
Roman
true.
Bar's already in play.
Tony did. TF Grass Chest. Electing to pass on both items, holding on to his rupees.
Probably wants to see what's in the shop first.
That's true. That's true. And it's going to have a Woodfall Fairy. Second Woodfall Fairy. Yeah, if you count the ledge. It's going to bank 89, keep 10 on hand. This will be a traditional Swordsman School into Postman's Hat play, or Postman's game play, or vice versa. The Swordsman School here, clear here will give Tony his first yellow. NEUR0 having got the stick break, jump slashes will do double damage, having a little more trouble landing on the Dodongos.
Be careful, NEUR0.
One hit away, those tails hurt. Good work. It can be a tough check for even experienced runners if you're doing it early.
Many lives have been lost in the Dodongos. There's Tony's fairy. NEUR0 is double timing, and maybe double timing the day 2. Wonder where he's off to. Maybe expected a soar back to Swamp. Double timing the day 2. Why not?
That was a Stone Tower fairy on non-transformation. A double back for transformation. Made very easy by that early Deku.
$20.
I'm making those rupee actors drop down. Tony making a West play here.
I wonder who's going to be the first to do some East Clocktown minigames with the East Clocktown Way of the Hero.
Was this just for the owl?
It may have, yeah, it looks like it is. He
Yeah,
doesn't have the
Tony,
bow to shoot down Tingle. Yeah.
Yeah, Tony and Neuro had both half the bottle of gold dust. I don't believe either has emptied it. Bit of a pity because Deku Playground had a red potion there.
Yeah. Tony's about to, I think he'll have just enough to hit tank 1, I think. Maybe, should have paused it at first, but. Well, a bit short, but too bad.
Yeah, I think Tony needs one more deposit.
Yeah, he needs like 20 more rupees, something like that. Yeah, 12 rupees.
Yeah, still great progress, and now Tony's got an empty bottle. Yeah, chooses to keep the bottle empty.
No Saber, I don't want to know more about the bombers. Sorry.
We've all known a lot about the bombers here. Both Tony and Neuro have been around for a while to experience hide and seek for themselves. Everybody has their own hide and seek scary stories. Though with an early boat, it is available to Neuro now if they wish. It's like just a wooden chest there in Bomber's hideout. Tony did Observatory. I don't believe we've seen Larry the Business Scrub's item yet. Princess to the Moon. It's uncommon here. In part because our win condition is to find sets of 5 fairies and turn them in. In traditional seeds, you always end up clearing Woodfall Temple and getting that chance to visit the princess. Here, you really have to work for it.
Yeah. You never end up finding Sonata. Never end up finding Deku. You're not gonna get there, so. Alright. Neuro's going back out to turn into Deku first. This Honey and Darling mini a teensy bit easier.
Yeah, a feature of MMR. It is intended for the Deku plus Magic Bubbles combination, but it works just fine if you don't have magic for bubbles. So this will save Neuro some effort and time. Now, Tony did have an empty bottle.
Ooh, bombs.
Oh.
That's northern access once he picks up the boat.
You know, real commendable banking effort from Tony, and it pays off with bombs.
Ooh, there's a Goron. Nice. So
Thoroughness of minigames paying off for Neuro.
Yeah, for sure. It should be pointed out that that could potentially not be the wath for East Clocktown if that Honey and Darling is a sometimes hint for this seed. So.
Yeah, you know, very conscientious financial planning from Tony, waiting until Bank 1 was in hand to pick up that FD and that cafes. They're just as useful now as they were back then.
Still doesn't want that berry.
I mean, one of the quirks of these settings is that you still have to, you know, get them in there on the final day to go to Majora. So once you're in Go, you usually have time to pick up fairies if you wish.
You do have to be careful with that shop since they do, you know, get the heck out of there at 9 o'clock the final night. So you know, buy it by then, you're in a bit of trouble.
That's a very good point.
Tony will have to get his Goron, albeit on day 2 instead of day 3. Just as good, either way. Very clean bombs cabal.
Excellent. I think that's my favorite of the three, personally.
Yeah, easily. I'll do day 1 if I have to, or if I'm like playing the combo rando and only have a bomb 2 bag, then I'll do day 1. But I avoid day 1 if at all possible.
So Neuro's on final night. That'll be the first pink for Neuro. Where do they stand on bank? Let's find out.
Yep. Looks like they're hoarding onto their money for now. Probably gonna buy something from one of the shops. Which one you get, Neuro?
Huh. Now, did Neuro pick up the letter to Mama?
I don't. Has he been?
They don't have a spot further on their tracker, so... Okay, Neuro's got 94 in the bank. They're going to be 2 deposits away, at least, from that bomb bag.
Yeah.
And in Blitz Season 2, we only have to worry about Bank 1. So, once you hit that, no more bank management.
So he is heading north, given his equipment. Pretty good idea, I'd say.
Lack of bombs a bit of a shame here, but still plenty to do.
Yeah.
Up and
lack of bombs could potentially become a problem with our Twin Islands Way of the Hero. There's only 2 checks there, and they both require bombs.
True. I mean, at the very least, you're getting the owl. Tony also picking up that double defense.
And, ooh, Ranch Foolish.
Huh.
There will be no doggy gambas today for a fairy.
That's 2 more side quest masks we can cross off. I mean, hint-wise, my accounting is 4 wafts, 2 foolishes, and only 2 sometimes.
Sounds right. Yeah. Stop it in Ranch. No, let's get a little more. Smithy 2, Dog Race, Hookshot Chest, and Town Arch.
Tony took a trip east and gave us PFI Foolish. So that's it for wafts and foolishes.
Wow.
Usually the highest value hints, and they're gone here.
Something there. On Kita.
He doesn't play. We don't have Sonata to get it done. Tony realizing this.
double checking his songs.
Sometimes I get Healing and Storms mixed up.
Yeah, I've done that before myself. But there's nothing too spicy here in the Goron shop because Nora went up here broke. They're always broke.
At the very least, they can set up Elder Goron. Link has to learn about Elder Goron. There we go. That's how tree dead. That's okay. That was a piece of heart in the tree. Huh. Bremen Mask in the Goron shop, and Neuro knows not to worry about that.
Bow.
Bow for Tony.
See if he does Swamp Archery.
Swamp Archery is 2 checks in Blitz. Tony's interested in playing a pretty thorough game so far. Done a lot of Clocktown. And it's just really now venturing south.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Captain. That was a blue fairy behind, up on the ledge in Goron Village.
They're having a bit of trouble with his walking. What's your preferred day for getting the Lens Cave?
3.
Day 3?
3. Yeah. It's fun to just jump straight ahead 3 times in a row. I must admit. It's not usually when I end up in Goron Village, especially in these settings where shops only open on day 1 if you're a human. But it is a nice and simple set of platforms to jump across, I'll give it that.
Oh no, there's something big in there. Girl, we have to backtrack for that. Once he picks up bombs. Oh, another. So that's what, 3 in total that we know about?
3 are, yeah, very accessible. Stop Clocktown Ledge, Trading Post, and now Swamp Archery. Maybe Woodfall Fairies. Neuro will know about them too when they visit Woodfall.
Yeah. Oh, Neuro is and has exactly enough money once he sells this gold dust for rank 1.
Better late than never.
Gonna sting to get this bombs right after going north.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Neuro soars back.
Yeah, he may go straight back.
There you are. Good job remembering your bank. Sometimes it slips past. Especially with all the extra pressure on rupees in these settings.
Yeah. Now he's gonna pick up the items here in the farm shop.
Tony gets the ranch Foolish Knowledge. And shows up to the Mystery Woods on the right day.
Yeah. With all of our... or almost all of our Foolish and Waffins already known between both runners. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't go to ranch for on the remaining hints.
Yeah, I don't remember. Does Nero know about PFI? Tony does.
Tony does. I don't know if Neuro does.
Of course, it's not going to be a big deal. Wow. Kotake.
Yeesh. A lot of fairies early this seed.
That's our 3rd yellow. We've seen 3 pinks. We know about 3 blues. Swamp Tidal Deed's still out there. We have the gold dust to get Smithy Day 2's blue, but still gotta melt the ice. And I believe we had a Snowhead Fairy on Cafe Day 2.
Yeah, you're right, we do.
Nothing on Potion Shop. The Stone Tower Stray Fairy, the main prize of the Mystery Wood Strip. But, yeah, Tony seems to have Swamp in mind now. Has a good package for it. Has a bow, has bombs, has a bottle, Deku, Goron. Okay, yep. Meanwhile, NEUR0's setting up Scarecrow's Song.
Oh, there's a Gendo mask.
I spoke too soon. Kwame had an Icona Access mask. Three pinks known already. Tony proceeding with the swamp clear. Why don't we want to know? I know why we don't want to know, because we're in a race. And NEUR0 doesn't want to know either. Though NEUR0 has bombers available as an option, maybe they do want to know. Alright, Tony did this earlier. I don't believe it was anything special. That's right. I did not see Tony playing for this. Yeah, both runners have secured that Goron and Bombs combo. It's certainly missable. Honey and Darling and Bank 1 are pretty skippable in the early game, but it didn't slip by Tony or NEUR0. Tony going to secure a Moon's Tear here and Deku Palace.
Headed back north. Do bomb off checks he couldn't do before.
Yeah. Goron is going to be that East Clocktown Wath.
Oh, he needs to go back to bombs.
To Icona. I don't believe there was anything on Punch Rock.
Do you want to explain how WAS works for these settings, Biff?
Certainly. Now, WAF items here, due to our win condition, have a bit of a special treatment. Any WAF item or required item needs to lock at least 3 fairy set completions. So that Goron mask in East Clocktown, to be WAF, that's got to have 3 stray fairies left behind it, and that's a Lens of Truth in Road to Icona there. Or not Road to Icona, Twin Islands. Lens of Truth, Twin Islands. Goron Lullaby for Tony Big Blind, meanwhile. That's in Deku Palace, so...
Potential, I've already guessed at this point. I mean, well, it's either going to be Goron Elder or Shiro. Maybe Shiro is the WAF for RGI.
Yeah, I mean, both runners have just found themselves a keen interest in magic, but for different reasons. Tony for the lullaby, and NEUR0 for the lens, and look at NEUR0 here demonstrating lensless climb.
Oh, one step too far.
Yeah. Do this by counting steps. There's a certain number of steps you take up, and then right, and then up, left.
Left, and up, right, and up.
Yeah, there's handy images to help everybody remember. Because I certainly don't have them memorized.
The introduction of Goron Elder Song in Season 6. There's been a whole lot more lensless climbs over the past year. I'd say.
Yeah. Our runners have Goron in a bottle to make use of it. And Neuro's here. Great job on the lensless climb. I mean, the catch is Neuro's got to forfeit that red potion, but with Bank 1 already in hand, the only real cost is time.
Yeah. This way you can get his Elder Song and check out what's in Hot Spring Water Grotto.
True.
Also, you can pick up that gold dust again and turn it in on day 2. If he decides he wants to pursue Great Bay Fairies.
It would be a shame if Neuro couldn't secure a wallet before that, but even so, this is great thinking by Neuro. You know, a very wise deployment of a lensless climb here. Tony's made a south play. Rewarded for the Goron Lullaby, and we're gonna get the remaining knowledge of pink fairies. Keep your eyes peeled, everybody. Snowhead Temple. West Clocktown we knew about, and then Great Bay Coast.
Great Bay Coast, I'd say as long as it's not on the cab, that one's probably very collectible. Snowhead Temple, depending on where Snowhead ended up.
That's a puzzler of a find for Neuro. The other Twin Islands check. Magic.
Magic. Wow. That has to be out of logic.
There's no way you can.
That has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be second magic.
Yeah, there's no way you're getting to hot spring water without magic, or melting that ice without magic.
Still a big find either way. It's a Tongue of Healing.
LTK. Healing on Elder Goron.
Are we going to re-climb to heal Darmani?
Now, healing can't be the waff here, because Goron Elder is multi-location in both Mountain Village and Twin Islands, so...
But the lens can, so that in a sense makes the healing waff for Darmani, sort of, kind of.
I mean, yeah, Darmani's a candidate now with that waff lens, and we know it's waff because the magic there can't be waff. Because, you can't get into that grotto without magic. So somewhere there's another magic which lets you use that lens to get something that...
Aww.
Couple's Mask. We have an East Clocktown waff. I mean, Goron likely fulfills it, but...
Yeah.
The traditional advice will clear your waffs.
Yeah, we still have 3 unfulfilled, some unfound sometimes ends. So, still a chance we get a Honey and Darling sometimes then. So.
Tony Big Blind. Here's an East Clocktown check. Tony found that ladder very early. Cafes was in the shop. What does Madam have for us?
Thanks for finding my son. Here's $50.
With a full wallet already. Tony's only treasure was knowledge there.
And you know that warm fuzzy for finding cafe, or supposedly finding cafe.
Neuro giving us lensless climb with a lens.
I'd probably just equip it and use it, because you're going to need it here in a second anyway.
Good show by Neuro here.
But yeah, it's still a good show by Neuro for sure.
So if Goron Elder having healing, every remaining song check has a dungeon song. We also have Pamela available too, or at least Neuro does.
He still needs the hook and the gift over arrow. Oh, okay, gotta be a human.
That's true. I mean, Neuro did the Lensless Climb as a Deku. I've never done that before. I didn't know it would work. Good on Neuro. I learned something new.
Darmani, do you anything today? Nope.
So if Lens isn't for Darmani, what could it be for? We've got Pillar in Path to Snowhead. We've got Shiro, probably the best candidate for a Toikana Waff.
We have
in
Castle. Kid Castle.
Yeah. In these settings, yeah, Kid Castle does need Lens. We're still several pieces away from that. Like Logical Magic, Bow. Well, no, we have Bow. Nice arrows.
Nice dive.
Oh. There's Lens for Tony.
Go ahead and melt this while you're gonna melt this while he's here.
Well, our spice here is Lens Waff in Twin Islands for what we believe is Road Toikana Waff. I mean, I guess the real spice is you can get the magic in Hot Spring Water Grotto by doing Lensless Climb. So there's another magic out there somewhere in some obscure corner of Termina. I wasn't looking closely when Tony peeked into Road to Icona.
What is that?
I couldn't see it.
Sword, maybe? All right. Yeah, I think it was a sword. It didn't. It didn't look like for me arrows.
But sword upgrade, that sword upgrade's a bit out of the way.
Captain's Hat.
Yeah, Interior Foolish with a GFS inside, too. Captain's is a good find for Neuro. We know it's going to lead to a dungeon song. You can also combine it with a trip to Shiro. Neuro is, handling the north here exceptionally well.
Grades now. Buy your red potion, I hope.
Here's Tony enjoying a day 3 lensless trip to Lens Cave. We're going to check out that couple's mask, which Tony just found.
Yep. Help Mare. Ooh.
Oh. Oh. Hook shot in East Clocktown. It's double off.
Means you can get that big gilded on the Road to Recon pillar as well.
Oh, there was a big gilded on Road to Icona pillar, so maybe it's...
I thought there was. Did I see it? I'm pretty sure I saw a big gilded there.
Meanwhile, Tony picks up a pictograph box on the Stone Tower Tingle map. Just to
check out Lapfish.
Harvest some cash. Yeah, Tony took a trip out west just to hit the owl. Now has an empty bottle to feed the fish. So the next piece of the puzzle, that Icona Canyon Waff. Tony Big Blinds got Gibdo from Deku Palace. I believe it was Deku Palace. You know, the whole Deku Palace would fall. Oh no, Gibdo was
It was Kume.
Kwome. Gibdo was Kwome. Neuro's got to re-pick up that red potion. Emptied it out for hot spring water.
So trying to get a little bit of cash. Yeah, he's got to do that. Blue here in the fountain.
Get Neuro to 30.
29.
Must be going to
There you
30.
go.
Yeah. If you're going for the bushes instead of the 5 on the other fountain.
Oh, there's the game.
Garo Mask in Cape Grotto?
Yes.
Yeah. Bad news for Tony going there before turning in that couple's mask. Hook shot would have been very handy in that position.
Yeah, I could have gotten or peeked all the other checks there and checked out the fountain.
So the Pink Fairy and Pink Fairy and Great Big Coast has to be Macau or Cliff Ledge.
Yes, no healing is, so that's whichever one it is, it's definitely accessible now.
Okay. Yeah, Neuro takes some time to pick up a hit in Terminate Field, learns about Hookshot Chest. An observatory visit. Neuro can full clear Road to Icona at this point. Between Lens, Magic, Red Potion, Goron, Hookshot.
Just a bit inconvenient, he doesn't have either of these kind of access masks to roll it into a trip up to Icona.
Yeah, Tony's been west, Tony's been south. And those have awarded Tony with Icona access and Goron Lullaby. I think that's Tony's main advantage over Neuro right now. Wow, did the observatory telescope just shatter? I mean, that glass case with the piece of heart in it looked intact. Imagine if that was a way to get the item in logic. I mean, we have a new feature request for Zoe, I guess. I mean, we can only ask for Bomber's Notebook toilet paper so many times in a row, right?
Yeah.
All right, there's our business scrub. Business scrub is not very good at business.
But haggling.
Tony does want to know about the bombers. Neuro wants to solve that waft. Huh. You know, Combo Rando does import the hammer from OOT, and actually re-implements the door in Goron Village to respond to the Megaton hammer.
Yeah, that is true, yeah. Oh, just out of the boat.
Okay, so all our bows are accounted for. Snowhead Map, that pillar, RTSS Grotto. Of course, that last one is the correct bow. Yeah, it's gotta be Shiro. So what's left for Shiro to have? Zora? Ice arrows? With an Iconic Canyon Waft, I'm kind of feeling it's ice arrows.
Yeah, there's a pretty good chance of that. So we still have...
There's Hookshot for Tony. Remembering to full clear his wafts. There's Neuro Find.
Ice arrows.
Oh.
Lovely.
So Twin Islands WAF lens for a Road to Icona WAF ISO. There's a chance you could avoid that entire chain. Oh. I mean, at least Clocktown gives you 2 required items for the price of 1. Neuro now knows about Kita's chest. And Neuro has a captain's hat to employ here. Tony stopped by early for the Graveyard Grotto in the Peak, but did not have captains at the time. Alright, Bombers, do you have at least one number right?
They do. 3. Oh, they got 2.
They got 2.
Oh, no, 3. They have 3. 3's the right answer.
Oh.
2 and 4 are wrong.
Their game goes on then. Did they have a... Was that a piece of paper they gave?
Toby's gonna go and be a little disappointed.
Tony load up on a red potion. Neuro had me distracted.
Tony also doesn't have magic. So
That's true.
he now knows he needs to find the magic.
Could Icona Canyon have logical magic?
There is a chance.
And Shrine Grotto is on the table.
Shrine Grotto, if we find Zora and Ocean Deed, it's also possible. Shrine Grotto at this point is looking pretty, good WAF candidate. Bottom number 2.
Spare bottle for Neuro. We won't turn that down. Baby Zora's is 3 eggs and it's guaranteed to have a dungeon song. And Neuro knows it too. Neuro did that Goron Elder and he got healing. Of course, Icona Canyon WAF could be Pamela and Tony's underneath it. Showing Goron combat.
No sword upgrades.
Double defense gave Neuro the room to make 1 mistake. Neuro didn't need it. Good work.
Of course. The one song that we can't do anything with right now.
But that captain's hat in Path to Snowhead leads to New Wave Bossa Nova. We're still technically out of logic here. We don't have logical magic. Alright, meanwhile, Tony snuck up to the Yellow Fountain. The last 2 remaining Yellow Fairies are both in Zora Hall.
Oh, wow. I chance you can get both. They're both in the shop. Not finding Zora, but they're pretty tall odds.
The danger here is the mountain title deed. We're not quite ready to declare Yellow fully available with Zora yet. Wow. We have WAF Pamela. I mean, at least it's not magic here, right?
Yeah, that's true. Something here in the grades. Night 2.
Can't be magic.
Oh, there's a second, I guess technically 4th, right?
Yeah. So there's only one blue fairy left unaccounted for. I mean, you've still got to find Swamp Title Dude.
Yeah, so it's not quite Oh, there's the magic.
Oh! Good find for Tony. Pictograph box off of that Stone Tower map purchase. Awards the fairy. Or not the fairy, awards the magic. Tony immediately heading back to West Clocktown, gonna pull some money out of the bank, pick up a potion. Gonna go to Road to Iconic and get the Icero news.
Be rather annoyed, I'm gonna think.
Yeah. Looks like Tony's gonna take the chance and buy the pink here too, just like Neuro did.
At this point, since you've already hit 91, or you go into a shop and back in and out, you know, it's only a few seconds, but those few seconds add up.
Let's see. Neuro did not do Swamp Archery, does not have that pink. Neuro, I don't believe, has even visited Woodfall yet. He's a bit behind on that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was time well spent for Neuro. Solving wafts, getting Hook. You know, taking care of that Captains for New Wave.
Enjoy your lovely nice arrows, Tony.
Bohut is in logic now for Tony. And so is Pamela. Well, yeah. Catch is Bohut needs has a 30 rupee entry fee unless you've got healing, and Tony doesn't have healing.
Yeah, Tony. Got money problems, dude. And I think he just realized. No, he wanted to get rid of his bubble curtain.
Oh, now he remembers. Now I
Yeah,
remember.
back to town.
Yeah, it's not often you're forced to consider the pricing of Bohut, to be fair. You're gonna find yellow here?
Hello.
There we go.
He'll have his Gibdo here before too long. See what he decides to do. He leaves Swamp and heads to China. Or to Palace.
You know, Tojo, the Snowhead Fairies have been conspicuously absent so far.
Yeah, they have.
And that's with an early usable lullaby, too. Well, now it's usable.
Of course, it just became usable for Tony, and Neuro went that direction, but he didn't have the lullaby because he never went to the palace.
Tony loading up on cash. Already pulled everything back out of his bank. A lot for sale in West Clocktown today. And a lot of need for fairies, too. So in theory, Koume's Gibdo could be bypassed.
Yeah, just gotta go to Cape.
Could go to the well. Left side is out of reach. No wallet, no sniffer.
Objection!
Hey,
Let's get there for Nero.
going to have a say not exactly the most comfortable Pohut fight. This is the baby, just a baby sword.
Yeah, K-Sword. No deck of nuts. Don't want to lose. Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to take too much time here. As long as you fight pretty cleanly, you should be fine. But if these duo pose give you trouble, the clock might become a factor.
He looks like he is handling them well so far.
Oh, some slash. I thought Nero secured that Gibdo, heading right back east in pursuit of that iconic canyon walk. What are the candidates here? Zora, lights, fires, a song item. I guess, yeah, song item, it would have to be mirror. That's the only other song item left.
We're basically down to 4 things. Or some trade item to get.
Keg would be pretty spectacular.
Our
runners would hate it. Our runners would hate it, but... Alright. Happy 1 hour, everybody. I'm Fifth Whammy here with Put Your Lone Wolf in the booth. You're watching MMR and ZSR. Tony Big Blind versus Neuro, kicking off the Blitz Season 2 tournament. Thanks very much to Saber for restreaming and tracking for us, and also Axel for tracking for us, and our chats. Thank you for being with us here as our seed unfolds. Oh, thank you, Saber. I was so busy doing my spiel that I didn't see what Tony pulled, and it was not the answer. You know, I'm beginning to think it's Pamela time. Nero has the pieces of Pamela. Has healing, has storms. Doesn't have magic to freeze the Octoroks here. Gonna have to do the Iceless Hook skip here. Nicely done. That's not easy to do under pressure. And healing was on Elder Goron. And now that we have logical magic, healing is in logic as well.
We're about to see Pamela from Neuro, and if it's not Pamela, we are hunting for an ocean title deed.
Postman's hat for Tony and Zora Cape also got a hint about Pohut. Poor guy.
Of course. Oh man, I hate to see it.
Neuro getting the Emperor Iconic Gossip for Stockpot in. We're gonna see a Pamela on stream.
And well.
It's a strong candidate. Pohut and the Grotto are accounted for. What was that on the like? I couldn't fully see.
Whatever it was, Tony had no interest in it.
Tony couldn't have gotten it. No Zora.
Yeah, that's
It was
true.
just a
Yeah,
peek.
that's right. Yeah.
Has no loose bombs, but Neuro's gonna improvise with a bomb chew.
Still don't understand why little girl goes and hides inside, and as soon as something explodes outside, she thinks the best idea is to go check it out.
Tony, gonna get our Blue Fairy info. Hands on your keyboards, everybody. Mountain Village, Iconic Graveyard, Termina Field, Goron Village. Termina Field's the odd one out that we haven't seen yet. You know, our summary here: Smithy Day 2, North Clocktown Tree, Goron Village Ledge, Graveyard Day 2, and Termina Field are the 5 locations of our Blue Fairies. And Pamela?
Hey, Pamela!
Nora!
Woo!
Pamela of the hero. Oh. I salute the brave little Pamela. Her dad doesn't have to be a fish anymore.
Objection!
That means NEUR0 can be a fish now.
Alright, so where is NEUR0 gonna go now?
Tony now proceeding in the direction of Snowhead Temple, gonna get Captain's Hat on the way.
Yeah.
Captain's, we know, leads to New Bossa Nova.
Hall.
And Tony now knows it should lead to Blue as well.
So with New Wave in hand and that news that his remaining 2 fairies are in Zora Hall, I'd be heading straight for Zora Hall. But NEUR0 is headed back
Not gone west yet. NEUR0 still needs to visit Deku Palace. And Woodfall. And the Pink Fountain. Tony's gonna head to Snowhead Temple and give us info on the Green Fairies. Or at least the Snowhead Temple entrance. Worth remembering that in Blitz Season 2, our dungeons are shuffled. We know that Cafe Day 2 has a Green Fairy. What about the other 4? Hands on keyboards?
I missed that 4th one. What was the 4th one?
I saw GBT, STT, Launcher Pool. Did Tony pick up a green when we weren't looking?
He's going back in. Snowhead Temple.
Okay.
There's 3 different dungeons and a letter to cafe to do this one. Ew. That's ugly. To put it simply.
I think Green's gonna lose hard here in the final accounting.
Yeah.
And even with an early lullaby too. I mean, the only other dungeon fairy that we know is the case is Snowhead Temple. And that's what Tony Big Blind has found. There's a pink in Snowhead Temple. Now, that doesn't mean that there isn't a swamp title date in some other dungeon somewhere leading to pink. But with the current fairy knowledge, Tony is going to be interested in clearing this out, I would say. Tony can't fully clear, though. He doesn't have fires. Which is probably for the best for Tony, because Goron Elder's got healing for Azora and Pamela.
Yeah, for sure.
What a way for Lens to be Waff. Well, maybe fires are out somewhere, but still.
Well, fires have to be behind Lens, right?
Is Sarah Lens? The Snow Temple Green on the map chest. It's up to 11 greens.
Because the lens lets you get Shira, which gave you the ice, which lets you go up to get your logically go up to get your Zora. If fires were accessible, then the lens couldn't be the wall. So nothing else. The wall.
Well, the lens is WA for ice.
Yeah, ice. And
Lens doesn't
and
necessarily need the WA for
Zora's behind
Eldorado.
ice. Zora's behind ice.
Nora's in a bit of a spot of trouble. It's trying to... There we go. Damage boosting on top of the pillar. Zora could just climb on top, but... No healing for Tony means no Zora for Tony. And that's one of the few places in Snowhead Temple where that's relevant. There might be a path through this seed which doesn't take you through Snowhead. But it would you'd need to get blues and yellows that way. And there's no guarantee that's even possible. Nero's gonna get our pink knowledge. On the one hand, light arrows do encourage a shrine play. I mean, on the other hand, you know, maybe Shrine gets him to think of Pamela. Maybe Shrine has fires. Sorry, full stream is synchronizing here.
That's pink. Last located. No, we can find the one you hit the coast.
Yeah, Great Big Coasts. I mean, yeah, Tony still doesn't have healing, so if Macau has it. I mean, this is where Great Fairy's Mass Shimmer can be helpful here, because it'll tell you if Macau has the fairy. But, I mean, that would require Tony to make a Zora-less coast play, which isn't ideal. Tony's in a tough spot because, you know, Lens Elder Goron, not ideal either. You know, especially in Blitz, there's a lot of hesitation to do Elder Goron a slow way.
I think he's about to go get healing here.
The remaining options. You know, Tony's done a good job spreading out his clears. Doesn't have a huge amount left to do.
Yeah. Basically cleared south. Almost all you can north. Just basically finishing that up now. Can't do all that much in the west.
Nero played a superb North game. You know, it has to do some cleanup now.
Bye.
Go ahead and soar. Nero did go. Would fall before Deco Palace. Now I think we're going to see the West play from Nero.
Don't break Goron Link's legs.
I don't think full damage scales in Majora's Mask.
No, that doesn't come till Breath of the Wild.
And there is that Termina Field blue on the Zora checks.
What blues are there left?
Goron Village Ledge
Oh yeah, that's right.
is really the last one. So Swamp Title Deed closes out blues. Yellows. I mean, you could need fires, you could need Mountain Title Deed. You could not need them. I mean, we're getting into the uncertain stage of, the Fairy Hunt endgame here. How many items do you need left, and, where are they?
Yeah.
Nero's at 13, doesn't have the knowledge of blues that Tony has. It has a bunch of reasons to go Cape and Hole right now.
Yeah, for sure. But the horse is not cooperating.
I find horse, but occasionally persnickety. There you are, Epona.
There you go. Get off the horse.
There we are.
Horses can't go in front of us. His lab fish.
Tony going to secure healing now.
I imagine
That's it. Yeah.
you're heading straight to Pamela. Or not.
Not gonna be for Coast. Remember, Tony has 14 pings.
Very true. So he heads straight now.
The pick is either here or it's on Clifford. Pictograph for Neuro, gonna secure logical magic possibly. Hearts all around, healing from a cow, a piece of heart from the labfish. Have you the fairy Macau?
Fairy Macau. I know. Twice. It is.
That's a full pink set for Tony. The easy set today, only really requiring a trip to Swamp Archery and Snowhead Temple, and the fairies will be happy to tell you about Swamp Archery. We needed healing anyway because of Pamela.
He's probably about to swim out to Zora Hall as if maybe he can get lucky in the shop.
Yeah, I mean, Tony has the yellows from Swordsman School, North Clocktown, Non-Transformation Fairy, and Kotake. It's gonna depend on how generous Zora Hall is. If they're both in the shop, or if they're sitting there on Evan or Lulu Ledge, that's gonna be it.
Oh, Tony doesn't have Zora yet.
Yeah, Zora Mask does lock Lulu and Evan's rooms.
Yeah, does hard lock those 2 rooms. So, but if they're in the shop, or if Tony finds fires and he can do stage lights, then he can get away without getting Zora in the seat at all.
That being said, Tony still has the aid of the iconic Canyon Waft, which will point to Pamela. Has the components for Pamela, healing and storms. And here we were, mocking the usefulness of storms at the beginning of the seed. Wow.
Wow.
Never mind.
No way.
That's wow.
That is
An extraordinarily generous Zora Hall.
That is go once he goes and gets a little bit more money.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, normally when I think of farming money around Zora Hall, there's Jar Game, there's the Like Spikes, but I'm not used to farming money without Zora and Zora Hall, so
yeah.
Tony remembering that he's got doubles to do, and Southern Swamp is a transitionless place to do your doubles. Meanwhile, Neuro.
Yes, Saber. I'm sure you get something real special for me on Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at a potential sub 130 here.
Yeah, that's a real solid chance of that, I'd say.
Yeah, I think, the North is likely the most challenging part of the seed. Finding that lens and then accepting the reality of Goron, Goron Elder. Yeah. I mean, there's a dungeon visit required, but, it's Goron Lullaby off Deku Palace from a Deku on Clocktown Tingle. Wow.
Where you going, Tony? Yes, he thought he hadn't bought the Woodfall Ferry from there yet?
Maybe so. And remember, you can pause and hit L to see your current count of fairies. What's Neuro gonna do? Normally
the temple.
Yeah, and then it's 2 fairy sets for Tony Big Blind. Just now has to pick up both remains. Wait out
clock tower for a few minutes.
The clock. With FD on sale in West Clocktown, the lack of Zora is not a concern for Phase 1, or Phase 2, or Phase 3. Double defense, double magic, 10 effective hearts.
Though I am sad, we will only get to see one Pamela this season. Or I spoke too soon! He's doing it anyway, I guess.
I guess so.
Joyce. More Pamela.
Tony is electing to give us another Pamela. Nero re-grabbing gold dust here. Is this a play for blues?
It might be lights, but at the same time, he has FD, so what do we need lights for?
Yeah, Pamela will have Zora.
Oh.
I think Nero's just afraid to let this,
Tony, the fake out! Wait, we want Pamela!
I think Nero was just afraid to let the opportunity to use gold dust pass them by. Understandable. Yeah. There's some good work from Nero today. You know, an adroit handling of the Elder Goron situation and of Pamela. Some nice lensless climbs, great combat against those iron knuckles of Goron. Tony forget to hit the owl.
No, I believe he is not soaring to save the in-game kind of pass storm, so he's gonna just hoof it back to town. I can find how I got him there.
Alright. Tony's going the opposite direction, isn't it? Yes. We've only got 3 treasure shields to South Block Town. We do have that in the way.
Over here. Kill it. There you go.
Well, Nero has entered the one dungeon we have to visit today. And is on track to find... I believe the pink was on... Pink was in the map room?
I mean, time doesn't pass during master transformations, so I can say overall, he's still saving time compared to Soren. Even with the master transformations, they have to be load zones.
Yeah.
Probably not a lot, but it's still a couple of seconds, and we've seen matches come down to a couple of seconds before. Not up to this race, but
Okay, it was the green in the map room, and then the pink's on Fire Arrow Chest?
yes.
Huh. I'm not sure we'll know what Postman's hat is. Yeah, Neuro has to heal Macau after this.
He did heal Macau.
Oh, he did heal Macau?
He has to go do Swamp Arch.
Swamp Archery, that's true. That's true. Tony got that on the way in.
Yeah. looks like he's gonna just miss out on the supplemental. It's a very good time.
Yes, a fast seat today with both, with that double off in East Clock Town really being essential to the whole thing.
Yeah. But also some silly wafts in Twin Islands and Road to Ikana.
Well, the lens here is the right route. You do need that Elder Goron. Well, do you need that Elder Goron? Yeah, I mean, you need healing, yeah. You gotta heal Mikau.
It's not hard to water. Main's giving Tony a little bit of trouble.
NEUR0N0M's declaring go mode on their tracker.
Just gotta go and Swamp Arch, and what's the Ikana Fairy he's missing?
Might have been a Hall Fairy. We couldn't buy them both at once.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was 110 rupees total. Yeah. Yeah, that 90 purchase is pretty expensive. So a good showing from NEUR0N0M. Tony closes the deal. GG to Tony Big Blind. Oh no, I'm calling it early, aren't I? Oh no, that's it.
Yeah.
That's Wrath.
Not terribly far behind.
Let's see if we get an interview here. Yeah, this is on a delay. So, NEUR0N0M's still got 15 minutes to finish before the end of Seed festivities. And NEUR0N0M could totally do it here.
Yeah, definitely. FD. All he has to do after this is buy a fairy and then drop off the towers. Definitely.
I'm not sure if we're gonna get Tony for an interview here.
Yo.
Yo.
Oh,
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Gee, thanks for reminding us. I'm in the waiting room. Yeah.
Yeah, GG's. What a scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a seed.
Something.
Well done to both of you, really. You both handled that well.
Yeah, I was really happy with my routing. I know that this time difference really feels like it came down to most of my just random little execution mistakes, which is the first time I've really felt like that. This was a massive PB for me, so I'm really happy with how I ran.
Hell yeah.
You should be
That's
very
the good
proud,
stuff
NEUR0N0M. Your handling of North was beautiful. Your Goron fights with Iron Knuckle, smooth stuff. Like we're showing for you. But yeah, how about that win, Tony Big Blind?
Yeah, pretty crazy. All things
one.
considered, with how that seed went down. Honestly, the SCT fairies at Zora Hall were shocking. that was a sight to behold. I got there, saw both of those, and it was like, okay, I guess I'm done. I mean, it was absurd.
Yeah, believe it or not, Neuro, yeah, Tony never actually did Pamela.
Yes, no, I had to stop. I had to stop Tony from doing too much of the interview before we showed up because he told me that he never did Pamela. I was like, oh, you cringe swam, didn't you?
Yeah, I was like, I was about to do Pamela during night 3 because I forgot I had FD and thought I needed like Zora for Majora, and then like halfway through, as I was about to enter the building, or drop the bomb as I was about to enter the building, I was like, I have FD, get me out of here. I don't need to worry about anything for Majora.
Yeah. Don't worry about nothing.
I was a little disappointed.
I
want more Pamela.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, I gave you Pamela. You guys got
You
Pamela.
did. Thank you, Neuro.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
We got to stream Pamela.
I like almost want to look at the spoiler log and like come up with a really stupid route just to see how fast you could do this seed. You could do that knowing the seed, because you can just like skip like everything, man. You can skip going to like east entirely. You don't even have to go up in the canyon at all, I'm pretty sure. Well, no, you do so that you could claim the STT fairies, but like you don't need to do Shiro. Wait, do you even need
elemental arrows?
Yeah, do you even need magic?
No.
Do you even need magic?
You need to use the lens.
You need to use the lens.
No,
what you need to do is you need to be able to go up to Snowhead Temple.
No, you don't.
Bro.
Oh yeah, that's true. No, that's true. He's right. For the Woodfall Fairy. That's so true.
That is true.
Yeah.
Well, but you can
you still don't need to use the lens though, because you can get the second, the illogical magic. Like,
yeah.
But you don't need to use the lens because you don't need it. Yeah, but you still need to get one of the magics. You don't need the illogical magic. That's probably slower.
Neuro got the illogical magic. Neuro went for Eldergorn right away. Snowhead was Snowhead.
I found the lens and I was like, I don't need to wait for magic. Magic is somewhere. Give me the Eldergorn song. And then the funniest, magic was right there. I was like, what the hell? The other thing I had to stop Tony from telling me was, where was magic? Where was it?
The other magic was on Couple's Mask turn in.
Couple's Mask turn.
Yeah. Wait, that was Hookshot. Other magic
was
shit.
Did that.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
What was Picto Box.
Picto Box off of Tingle.
Box off of Tingle, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, Tingle did good work today. Deku and logical magic.
Yeah, for sure. Wow, that's crazy. I was wondering if it was
did you,
or something.
How early did you get Goron? I'm actually really curious because I feel like I routed Bank 1 really good.
I fumbled my rupee routing at the beginning. Not like terribly, but enough that I was like, what the like my first mistake numero uno was writing down Stockpotty and Foolish, but not really processing it until after I bought the all-night mask.
Oh.
And then I was like, wait, no, give me my money.
Well, I made sure to not buy anything until after.
Either, so that's okay.
I made sure to not buy anything until after I did Bank 1, especially with like the gold dust ready to go. I kind of fumbled it a little by like not depositing 20 rupees before I sold the gold dust, so I didn't actually have enough money to complete Bank 1 after that, after the gold dust sell. So minor fumble, but
I think I like made a couple of extra deposits that I didn't need to make or something. I don't fully remember, but that was also how I got Bank was selling the gold dust. And yeah, I feel like, hang on, I have a recording. I can just look. But I feel like it was, I feel like it was pretty early. I've really been focusing in general on trying to make sure I get the bank done, because in my experience, for the first good while of these settings, I was not really prioritizing it, and I was getting punished every time. And I still feel like that hasn't changed in terms of like, you don't do bank, you're gonna regret it. And you know, if that's one of the like easy things to mess up, because the shop's being on, you're really tempted to spend all your money. But you can just as easily spend it after, like you were saying, you can just easily spend it after.
Yeah. I mean, is it just me, or do wallets feel a little less common to be early here?
Yeah, I mean, you don't even need 2 of them. You only ever need 1, and even then, it's like, oh, you get a wallet. It's either for biggest bomb bag purchase. It's for the Termina Field Scrub, or it's for Blue Potion, or it's for Smithy 1. But like, you know what it's for. It's usually either Wath, or it's like it's pretty obvious in some other way what it's for.
Yeah, I mean, it's still helpful too, because near the end you're going into Zora Hall, and well, you need both things there, but they cost 110, and you don't have the room. You have to go back and farm money.
Yeah.
And you had to do it without Zora, Tony.
Yeah, well, I mean, you only have to swim there once. Then you just Zora the second time, but yeah.
I got Goron in like the... Oh wait, I marked Goron at the 19-minute mark. When did I actually get it?
Yeah, I think you beat Tony to Goron by a few minutes, I think.
Craziness.
Yeah, all in all, though, pretty bonkers seed.
Yeah,
On the
it's
quicker side.
Yeah, right.
Quick seed, a lot of overworld action.
You even had to go super deep into one dungeon.
You did. You had Snowhead Temple. Yeah, a fireless dip in the Snowhead Temple.
Yeah, fireless
not
Snowhead.
the easiest thing. Not the easiest thing in the world to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, no fires, no required ice, no lights.
What would you guys say was really the turning point? What did Tony do faster than me? Was it really just not going canyon? Is it really just the cringe swim?
I mean, I basically did all of Pamela by the end of it. Like, I guess I did it during night 3, like waiting for final hours, so it wasn't as punishing as doing it during not that, but
I mean, there were little advantages here and there in sequencing. Like Tony went south earlier, and
I kept putting on south for a long time.
Yeah, south is where your Icona access lived.
And
that Goron Lullaby, which ended up being wise to have in the end.
yes, was nice and required.
Yeah, that's true. I aggressively routed Waths, and for a lot of the like mid game, I was really thinking about Deku Palace. I was like, I need to go to Deku Palace. Oh, but this Wath. Okay, let's go to Deku Palace. Oh shoot, there's a Kana access. Let's go chase the Wath, right? And so, yeah, it was kind of the double-edged sword of that Zora mask. You're really pulling me, even though I ended up not needing it.
Yeah, I was thinking about going, like, after I found the bow in Road to Southern Swamp, I was thinking, like, do I push Twin Islands here? But it's like, I'm already in Road to Southern Swamp. I might as well just do all the swamp. Like, it's basically required anyways, most of the time. And it gets me fairy knowledge afterwards. Like, I'm not going to abandon it. I already have the red potion, too. I already planned around it.
Though I must admit, the fairies seem to be pretty forthcoming all on their own.
That's true. That's true.
They kind of showed right up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, except for those greens. But hey, they're greens.
Yeah, the
Did you look
they were
at the...
all in dungeons.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was about to ask if you looked at that hint. They were all in dungeons.
Of course. Yeah,
I only got one of them.
An LTK.
Yeah,
the LTK one. I actually was I put it on my snow headline, but I actually thought it was blue, and the only thing that made me realize it was green was having all of the blue ones accounted for. I never went into the Great Fairy. I knew based on the hints and just finding the rest of them beforehand.
So the Snowhead Temple ones, there was one in GBT, 2 in Stone Tower Temple, 1 in Snowhead Temple, and then the LTK.
Oh gosh, yeah. So you have to do eggs. You have to do eggs.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I found Captain's Hat. Not that I ever did anything. Well, I did. I did Grave Grotto once, but
Captain's Hat was the one that had. Yeah, that had New Wave. And New Wave.
Yeah, I saw you go into there too.
Yeah. GBT was vanilla, and so I was like, "No, we don't need to be here. Goodbye."
Yeah, I never did anything with the Captain's Hat. I mean, obviously, then I never went. I never even saw what GBT was. The only dungeon I entered was Snowhead Temple. But pretty much like right after I did Snowhead Temple is when I decided to get the song for healing, and then I rushed to GBC to try to high roll my way into being done with the seed, because the GBC fairy at like the Woodfall fairy at that point was pretty much locked in because I had everything to full clear Great Bay Coast. And I just like at that point, because I was in Great Bay Coast already, I just decided to commit to the cringe swim, and like halfway through the cringe swim I was thinking about what I could do after this, because like the odds were so low that it was going to let me finish the seed. And then only at that point did I really even remember that Pamela existed. And then it ended up just like working out anyways. So
yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. Rando be rando.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, rando be rando.
Yeah, the fairies tell the story. That's the story of Blitz so far. And I think that's how it's going to go. I mean, we'll have to find out together, right?
Truly.
But yeah. In the meantime, GGs to you both. Great work, both of you, taking down the seed. Any other questions, Pojo?
I don't have anything else.
Sounds great. Well, thanks for coming into the interview with us, and thanks for showing your skills today. And thanks everybody. I'm Fifth Whammy, and want to show us off for the evening, Saber?
Can do. Again, GG's again to the runners. So I can pull up the bracket here on my other monitor. Looks like Tony, you're going to be facing the winner of Bucky and our own Fifth Whammy here.
Mm-hmm.
And Neuro goes down here, and we'll face the loser of that match. So we'll see that when we get some more matches under our belt here in the tournament. But that'll be it for us here at Zelda Speedruns. Hope you all had a great night of MMR, and have a good one.
Lizard.
What was
Every
that?